Look at a globe, and it's mostly blue. Oceans cover 70% of the Earth's surface, plunging down to an average depth of 3.7 kilometers. But that bright blue exterior is a bit of an illusion. Sunlight can only pierce through the first 100 meters of water. Below that, the light fades entirely, meaning the vast majority of our planet exists in total, permanent darkness. We actually know more about the rocky surface of Mars than we do about the deep ocean floor right here on Earth. Earth is a dark, aquatic world. 94% of all life on the planet lives in water, making all of us walking around on dry, sunlit land a very small biological minority. As we descend past the 500-meter mark, the water pressure mounts rapidly. By 565 meters down, the environment becomes highly hostile, and photosynthesis drops to zero. Without sunlight, you simply cannot have any vegetation, and without plant life to anchor a traditional food chain, the normal rules of survival break down. We reach the end of the twilight zone at exactly 1,000 meters. Here, less than 1% of surface sunlight remains, officially marking the beginning of the void. So with thousands of tons of pressure bearing down on you and zero solar energy to grow food, how do you survive down here? Below this line, the ocean is defined by catastrophic energy scarcity. Every single calorie matters. Below 1,027 meters, we enter the midnight zone. Down here, the primary biological rule is radical energy conservation. Chasing prey in pitch-black water burns calories that an animal simply cannot replace. So most creatures in the midnight zone refuse to hunt actively. Instead, they resort to a far cheaper tactic. They hover in the dark, passively drifting and waiting for food to come to them. That food comes in the form of marine snow. These are tiny microparticles made of dead fish remains, plant feces, dust, and sand, falling endlessly from the sunlit zones far above. For these scavengers, survival is an extreme waiting game, relying entirely on catching the biological trash of the surface world as it sinks. But some predators need a higher calorie yield than falling dust and debris can provide. If they can't afford the energy to chase down a meal, they have to convince the meal to come directly to them. They do this by manufacturing their own light. Using specialized chemical reactions called bioluminescence, these animals create targeted flashes and glows to attract curious prey or startle potential threats. Take siphonophores, for example. These bizarre relatives of the jellyfish live in long colonies clustered around a single shared digestive tube, using light to draw in food up to 1,000 meters deep. Plunging even deeper, to 2,200 meters, we find the apex example of this biological hack, the deep-sea anglerfish. The anglerfish features a specialized fin ray that extends out front, glowing brightly in the pitch black. The light comes from symbiotic bacteria that live in a mutually beneficial relationship with the host, residing inside the lure to mimic a juicy piece of food. Bioluminescence acts as a calculated, energy-saving trap that allows deep-sea predators to hunt aggressively without moving a single muscle. For decades, scientists assumed that the immense pressure and near-freezing temperatures at the very bottom of these trenches made them completely hostile to any form of life. That assumption held until the early deep-diving bathyscaphes in the 1960s reached the ocean floor. Explorers peered out into the silt and spotted flatfish swimming at the bottom, proving life existed at maximum depth. Today, modern robotic probes continuously explore the Mariana and Puerto Rican trenches. They routinely pull up samples of complex invertebrates and entirely unknown species thriving in places where biology dictates they should perish. The existence of these bizarre creatures forces us to constantly rewrite our theories on the limits of terrestrial life. Absolute darkness and extreme scarcity do not create a dead zone. Instead, they force life to adapt, to invent its own light, and to build a self-illuminated world entirely separate from the sun.